This is the story of a motorcycle who was an ugly duckling. No. This is the story of a frog turning into a prince. No. This is a rags to riches story. No. This is a Cinderella. No. This is the story of David and Goliath. No. This is the story of taking a knife into a gunfight. No. This is the story of the little engine that could. Yes. This is also the story of an average guy who took a less than optimum motorcycle, who was in less than optimum shape, with a even less than optimum bank account, to the World Vet Motocross Championships in San Bernardino, California. And this is going to be somewhat of a recap of the weekend of racing and what it was like as I was riding the bike and how it performed, and a little bit of narration as I'm racing, and the outcome. So here's the story, and this is how I did it. I took a year of preparation to get there. Before you skip to the end, I'm going to tell you about what happened and why it happened and how it happened. So enjoy. Well, here it is. We're at Glen Helen. We made it. It's Friday night. It's kind of the quiet time for everybody to just, we've done all the practice. Practice is done. This is camp. No, it's still the CRF230, but just to mess with their minds a little bit. You know what I mean? Oh, and here's the other little thing I added, which is going to be a lot of fun out on the track. It already has been fun, is this. What fun. It took us about 7.5 hours driving through LA traffic last night. It was terrible, but anyway, who cares? We've got the 150R forks working beautifully. The bigger carb. I went with a skinnier 100/118 sand tire, and it's excellent. It's 2 pounds lighter than with the other previous tire I had on there, and the new shock, the Racing Brothers shock, is just awesome with all its adjustment and just rebound adjustment, compression adjustment. It's awesome. Same with the forks, and I got my transponder all working there. It's beeping, and so yeah, and I've got number 62 this year instead of 61 because I just turned 62. Things are kind of a mess, but we'll get there. Anyway, the CRF230F 150. What fun. Racing in the morning. What do you think?
Great job, right?
Here we are, Glen Helen. It's Saturday morning, getting ready to race. 55 and up class. Woo! I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. A lot of you may be asking why? Why take on this challenge with this motorcycle? Well, ride along with me and I'll tell you why. Okay, So you're thinking about returning to racing, or maybe you're considering starting racing motocross, or scrambles, or cross country, or desert, or something. You're thinking, why? What's the point? I'm old, I'm brittle, I could break, I could hurt myself. And yes, the risks are there. There's a risk in anything that we do in life. It depends, I guess, on what it means to you. Are you up for the challenge? Me personally, I like challenges. I don't like all challenges, but the challenge of getting back into racing for me was something that kept me motivated to stay in shape. I think that was maybe the biggest benefit out of it, was it kept me motivated and getting up in the morning to get in shape. And it's a lot of work, of course. There were a few goals that motivated me enough to be able to stick with it and to be consistent and to get in shape and to eat right and to lose some weight and to get out there and go for that cardio and that strength training. And some of you have a lot of things to consider. Do you have a family? Do you have people depending on you? And is the risk worth it? To me, it's a big risk every time I go driving through LA traffic. I'm scared to death, more so than on the racetrack. I guess it's just a matter of what your priorities are, what you value in life, and whether it's worth it to you or not. And it's not right for everybody. I also like the idea of taking the little CRF230 to a higher level, to its limit. And there's something about riding a slow bike fast versus riding a really fast bike slow. And coming in as the underdog is something I kind of got used to, so it felt right. So to tell you I wasn't nervous at this point, I'd be lying. Even though I'd prepared a lot for this, and I had actually done it the year before with a mid-pack finish, setting the goal for myself of a top 10 finish, I really had my work cut out for me on this bike. But I felt pretty good. The weather was just perfect. I was with guys my own age. Well, this is the 55 plus class, and I'm 62. So yeah, I was pretty nervous at this point. Just knew to try to get the best start that I possibly could on this thing and just take it easy, don't fall down. The main thing is just staying up. Now right here, right away I noticed the smart guys had an open slot in front of them before they took off. You notice the dirt that's on the concrete? I didn't have time to sweep it off, and I didn't have anybody there to help me. So I had dirt on the concrete, which is probably not good. So that didn't help my start. And here we go. So right off the bat, I'm in last place. This guy, see right here, he cuts across in front of me. I lost all my engine speed, completely screwed up my whole start. I'm not going to blame him. It just stuff happens. But there I am in last place. I got mud all over my goggles. I can't see. I pulled a tear off. I'm pretty much blind at this point. This guy next to me slows down, gets into my line. He's on a 450, so obviously he just takes off and leaves me. So I'm doing the best I can to keep the engine where it needs to be. And I just, at this point right here, I just kind of relaxed. I just thought, okay, just start working your way through your pack. There's guys that are going to be falling, and quite a few fell. The bike was actually working pretty good. I was pleased. So the bike, we had put in a 240 kit, which is technically it's a 237. That guy almost took me out there. 237 cc's, which is a 67 millimeter Wiseco piston, high compression. Compression was running about 11 to 1 with a thin head gasket. I had the webcam in. I forget the number now. There's only a couple, 2 or 3 available from Web for the 230. Had a little bit of head porting done, professional head porting. Of course, I had a BBR pipe on it and the bigger carb, accelerator pump carb. All those things kind of come together. It really made a big difference from the year before. It really was running great. The CRF150R forks were just beautiful. They were just working great. And let's see, this guy, he just about stops in front of me. I don't know why he put his brakes on. I lost all my momentum. But that's the way it is. You're in the pack. You can't go as fast as you want to go. You got to pick your way through. Try not to let anybody fall in front of you. Try not to run into the back of anybody. The funny thing is my tear off kept flapping in front of my face. I didn't get the tear off all the way off, and it was just totally annoying me. And it was just, I finally get it torn off here. Another couple guys, 2 guys down there, so I'm picking off spots here. Right here, I don't even know what place I'm in. Yeah, so there I'm trying to pull off my stupid goggle. I finally got my goggles cleared. So now I feel like, okay, now I can actually go. I can see. As you can see, there's mud on the lens, and thankfully it didn't cover the whole lens. You can kind of see. The ruts, the ruts are as bad as usual. Now watch this guy, he just takes off. You see how he accelerates away from me? That's how it was all day. But here he's putting the brakes on, I'm not. I'm catching him. And then he cuts across my line again, right in front of me. So it's just, that's the kind of thing, and then this guy passes us both. Another guy, so I'm starting to get frustrated with this guy. I cannot get around him because he's going just fast enough where I can't pass him in the straights. And then he manages to cut my line off every time. And we're thinking the same, like we keep taking the same lines. There he goes again, taking the same line. So I know I just got to just relax and just start working, take my time. I'm only 3 minutes into this race. It's got this wound up being a full 20-minute moto. And there I think I finally got around him. Actually, I don't think I did. I got in the soft mud there, and he was still there. I know I can get around this guy if I just keep working on it. Just be patient with him and don't let him fall in front of me. I think I finally get around him, I think. Now, again, he's on a 450, and you can just hear him just taking off, just leaving me. But I think I'm going to catch him right here. And finally we get to the top of the uphill, and no. I keep following this guy around. I think I finally get by him here. I just finally got so frustrated. Okay, at this point, I believe I'm up to about 30th place, so I've gained about 10 spots. And the bike's pulling strong up the hills. I'm like thinking, hey, this is much better than last year. But then I look ahead and oh my gosh, everybody's just gone. That sinking feeling when everybody's just left you. And so I had my work cut out for me. So I just actually here I kind of relaxed a little bit, probably a little too much. And you can hear my RPMs. I'm just not revving this thing out like it needs to be revved out. And I don't know. I don't know if I was trying to save the engine or what, or just trying to take it easy on the poor girl, because, there were 5 more motos to go after this one. So I just was kind of pacing myself, pacing the engine, pull another tear off, and realized, wow, I couldn't see anything. So I'm just trying to get my pace going here. So I'm feeling good. I'm not out of breath yet. And I'm going to start picking some guys off here. So this guy, I think I just missed a gear. This straightaway here, I believe I was actually in 6th gear. Now I was running a 12 front tooth and 47 rear, which is kind of a weird combo, but it's the equivalent of about a 1350 setup, which is more typical. I tried running a 13 tooth front sprocket and they just would not pull the hills at all. And so I went back to the 12, went to a 47 tooth sprocket because the 1250, 12 front, 50 rear was way too low. I would just spend my whole time shifting. And when you spend your whole time shifting, you wind up missing gears and hitting a lot of neutrals and get into trouble. So I don't like shifting that much. So I was more jacking the clutch or gently feathering the clutch. I put an easy clutch on this also. That really helped me a lot. Putting the easy clutch setup and the easy clutch lever, both, it was just a one finger operation, and it really nice. It really helped me. I'm looking at this guy here. I'm sizing him up. I'm thinking, okay, yes, I can get around him. This was pretty sketchy. I saw Mike Alessi just took some guy out on that big jump there. You guys might have seen it too, the replays. Full speed. He was flat out fifth gear and landed right on top of somebody. And luckily nobody was injured really badly as far as I know. They didn't walk away, but I don't think they were... actually, I'm not really sure what... maybe if anybody knows out there. And there's another guy. So I'm picking them off. They're falling. I'm picking up some spots. This is another corner where you see a lot of guys down. I've gone down. In fact, I went down in practice. I fell in practice. Wasn't a good feeling. Wiped the bike out with mud. I just completely fell in a big mud hole over the berm into a mud hole, and I was covered. So I had to get all cleaned up from that to get it back out for the first race. I wasn't hurt. Bigger bore, the cam, the pipe, the porting, the bigger carb, accelerator pump, all that really came together as a package that really made a big difference. I mean, it wasn't some powerhouse. I don't have anywhere near the horsepower that a CRF230 has. Not even close. And CRF450, as you can see, these guys, they're motoring away from me on the hills. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But I think I'm going to get this guy. There's one. And I'm already setting my sights on the next guy. And I don't know, I seem to ride better, I think, when I've got guys in my sights. And after I pass people, I tend to back off. I don't know why. It's a bad habit. As long as I got somebody up there to gauge my speed, I know I can catch them. So. There, this guy, this guy just comes out of nowhere. He's passed me once already, I think, and then he fell, and then he passed me again, and I think he falls again. So, yeah. So anyway, I had a really hard time getting speed up and being in the right gear to clear. I just couldn't clear that thing, no matter how fast I tried to go, and I couldn't get my speed back up until I was like in this section. This section here, I felt pretty good in. There was some radical ruts when you come over the hill, as you can see. As you can see, just some big braking bumps. This is the first moto of the day, and I'm thinking, wow, this is supposed to be pretty smooth in the first moto, right? I mean, there had already been several, I don't know how many. This was race number 8 in the morning, by the way. Race number 8. So they had 8 motos previous to this. Okay, so I'm finally catching this guy. Now, do you recognize this guy? He's the one who crossed my line in the first turn of the race. He crossed me over, and I wound up being behind him. There's another one down, another place. I think I'm running about 23rd, 24th place right now. So I'm catching this guy and I cannot get around him. I'm thinking, suddenly it dawns on me, hey, you're the guy that cut me off and got me into last place. Not his fault. Somebody pushed him over into me. So, alright. So I finally get here and I'm in 23rd. So I'm getting kind of tired and I was hoping to see the white flag. I'm thinking, oh boy, 2 more laps. I'm starting to be a little tired now. So I see this group in front of me of 6 guys and I'm thinking, wow, 6 guys. That's a lot of guys to get around. But here it goes. So at this point I just kind of took a deep breath. Kind of took a rest at the top of this hill, a deep breath, and I grabbed a handful. And I set out after these guys. Now this is a great track. It really is. It's just, right now, it's just perfect racing conditions. It's not very rough at all. I mean, it's always kind of rough. It's not that rough. It's still in great shape. And I feel okay. I'm thinking, okay, you've done the training. You've prepared for this. But I'm looking at all those guys. So I get this guy sized up and I'm thinking, okay, maybe at the top of the hill. And then this guy, he just comes out of nowhere. Who's this guy? I'm like, oh man, I kind of lost a little bit of steam here, and I thought, oh boy, now I'm in trouble. Oh, look out. Don't push me off the track. And right here, I bobbled and I think I almost went down right there. I almost went off the berm. And this is a pretty high-speed section right here. It's not a good place to crash right in here. A lot of guys have crashed in this spot here. So I can't let this guy get away from me, and I'm kind of latching onto him. He's faster than I am, obviously. But if I can hang with him, I think he's going to be passing some guys, and if I just get on his tail, he might be able to carry me through a couple more guys. So again, I'm just trying to get over this hump, and I just can't quite do it. Up here and then you land in these ruts right here, you're kind of off balance and you're going pretty fast, and it's kind of a turn, and it's really a lot trickier than it looks. This is a very weird off-camber, they call it the carousel, I think, and you almost get a little bit of vertigo as you're coming back down. I was. Slowly making ground on this guy. He isn't pulling away from me. I'm not catching him either, but he's not pulling away. And now he's starting to catch some of these guys. He makes a little mistake there. I'm seeing the yellow flag, and yet I'm waiting for somebody to be on the ground, but there's nobody there. They must have gotten up. I just passed somebody. Alright, here's the flag that I'm looking for, and yes, last lap. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Alright, I got the first race down. Don't fall. I have no idea what place I'm at this point. I didn't know if I was in 30th or 20th. I had no idea. Nobody really uses pit boards here, I noticed. Not very, you don't see a lot of pit boards. It would have been a little
would have been kind of nice right now to have some idea what place I was in. I figured I was about mid-pack again, so I was a little bit disappointed, but I thought maybe I'm doing a little better than last year. But then this is the 55 and up class, not the 60 and up class. Okay, about 3/4 of a lap, hoping to catch this group in front of me. But I'm really tired at this point. I'm like, okay, you got 5 more motos. You might want to save it. These guys are all younger than me. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I tried a different line down this side here, but it wound up being rougher than the rest of it in the shadow. And the inside line is okay here. But you don't get as much of a run. And this run, yeah, this is probably one of my best runs up this hill. And it's a lot steeper than it looks. Same thing going down. This, as you know, the camera never gives it justice as to how steep it is. This is a very, kind of a weird, long, sweeping, off-camber, very rough, full of ruts type of turn. Wasn't my favorite. Feels a lot better when you straighten it out here. And I think I can catch this guy. I'm thinking I can do this. I'm breathing pretty hard at this point. My hands are starting to cramp, and I'm probably pushing it a little bit too much. And when as you know, when you push it too hard, your hands, my hands, usually start not functioning well anymore. You wind up going slower. Just could not get the momentum I needed. I'm flat out here. I'm just fast as the thing will go. And I'm thinking I'm going to get him. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to at least get this guy. And all of a sudden, he kind of crosses over. And oh, crap. I almost collided right there. That was close. Right here, I kind of backed off because I thought that was close. You guys almost collided. That would have been a bummer on the last lap. So I kind of regrouped here. I still think I can get around this guy. I'm gonna give it one last shot here. I'm thinking at the turn after this I can get him. And he goes outside and so did I, so I blew that right there. That was my fault. I thought, well, if he goes outside, I'm going inside, and sure enough, he did. And I'm thinking, just go, and I just cut him off. And then there's a guy on the ground. Oh crap, I almost ran over his bike. Wasn't expecting that. He was sitting there right in the shadow. And I think, okay, I think I can get these guys. I think I can get these 2 guys right here. Maybe. Yeah, I got all hung up in the rut. I think it's still, no. I just couldn't get the speed I needed. Nobody behind me, and that's it. Okay, not bad for the first moto. I felt pretty good about that. So, 20th, mid-pack.
Oh crap. Still going. Oh, that was brutal. First moto. Done. Over.
Okay, time for the second moto. It's later in the day. You see the sun's almost starting to go down. And I know the track's going to be quite a bit rougher. I don't know how many motos we've had between my first race and second race. A bunch. There's a lot. You've got 1,000 guys racing here. So, yeah, I'm just kind of thinking, well, I got a mid-pack finish, so if I can get a mid-pack start this time, maybe I'll do a little better. Maybe I can work my way up a few more spots. That's what I'm hoping. Still shooting for that top 10. hoping maybe this is my chance to get a top 10. Now I've entered both the 55 plus class and the 60 plus class. So my 60 plus moto, I'll tell you right now, the first one was, well, I wouldn't call it a disaster, but well, I finished 14th, which is okay. I got a terrible start again, terrible. And yeah, so I'm just hoping the next one's going to be a little better. Yeah. Anyway, if you notice the two guys to the right and the left of me, they kept their spots open. They let the guy in front of them go, and so you notice I have got dirt on the concrete, they don't. And look at the starts they get. I start out here and I'm in like 26, something like that. But I know right away, I notice, oh man, the track's way rougher. The holes are bigger. The ruts are deeper. The chatter is bad. I can't see anything going up this hill. And of course, nobody else can either. You're blind. So you just see a bunch of dirt and sun. And coming up here, and I'm just thinking, man, you better go for it. And so now look in the center right in front of me. This is scary. I really couldn't slow down. I don't know. I barely got by that guy. It was close. I hope he's okay. 55 and up is a lot more aggressive than the 60 and up, I can tell you right now. A lot of these guys just turned 55, or they're around 56, 57, and look at number 43. Watch 43. He almost takes out the guys to the right and the left of him, which would have been a pileup. I would have had nowhere to go. It would have been a big pileup, so that was pretty close. And we're just trying to pick our way through all the ruts and bumps and seeing how the first lap you're just kind of starting to see how bad the track's going to be. It's not that bad. It's rough. It's a lot rougher than the first moto, but it's not terrible. The shadows are a little darker. There's not much light on the track in this area here. It's pretty dark. Managed to get by one guy here. I thought I was going to get two more here, and I just, whoa, look at all these ruts. Whoa, they're deep. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get by this guy, and he's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And he's like, no, you're not. Now this guy, again, I got by him quicker this time. No, I didn't. Now this guy, oh man, he's in front of me again. But I managed to pick him off a little earlier this time. Right there, did you hear? I almost went down. There was something weird about that rut. It just caught my front tire, and I almost went down. More about that later. As you can see, having dirty goggles, you're gonna get a lot more glare. So I would suggest you keep your goggles clean as possible with tear-offs, even though it's not really muddy anymore. It's just the dust, and then the sun gets on the dust and you just can't see very well. This guy who fell, C43, he fell again, and now he's caught back up. I thought I was going to get around him. He's got a fast bike. So I'm going to be doing a little less talking this time and just kind of let you watch. If I get to spots where there's just really nobody in front of me, I'm just going to cut it out. If you want to see the whole thing raw, uncut, there's another video available. But right now, I'm still caught behind this guy. I'm wondering, hopefully he doesn't fall, because I'm going to run right into him because I can't see anything. He's pelting me with roost, and he misses a shift right there. I get it. And now for the fun part. It worked. The horn works. It'll probably be illegal next year. There'll probably be a rule change, but it sure was fun. Much bigger holes now. The braking bumps are getting pretty deep now. And this whole turn is just a one big ruddy, messed up mess. The track is not as fun as it was this morning. Guy to the left of me, he's trying to cut in on the inside. I can feel him behind me. He's on a two-stroke. I thought I was going to get this guy. Man, I just didn't quite make it. I feel this guy behind me. And as you know, it's any displacement is open. Two-stroke, four-stroke, any displacement, it's basically an open class. So there's a few guys with 125, two strokes, 250, two strokes. Mainly 450s. It's a 450 track. It's the sand just robs your power, and you got a big advantage with that 450 4-stroke, especially a newer one. I found that inside most rut was the best. Same here too. The outsides ruts are really rough. I'm just trying to find the smoothest line I can get to get some acceleration going here. Big braking bumps. Got those two guys. I don't know what place I'm in right now. By myself for a few minutes here, just trying to kind of regroup, catch my breath a little bit, and make another charge. And I just feel very blessed that God has given me the ability with eyesight and a functioning body that can actually do this. So if it
glorifies him, all the better.
Okay, well, there's a break in the action here, so I'll talk about what happened on my first and second motos in the 60 and up class. Well, the first one, almost run right into the back of this guy. I think I managed to get, no, I don't think I did get around. Yeah, I did, okay. Then this guy passes me, so I didn't gain much there. Okay, so in the first moto of the 60 and up class, neither of which I have videos for, unfortunately. In the first race, the guy next to me, I asked him, is the little red light on in the camera? Don't ever do that. Don't ever ask another racer, because they're old. And he looked at it and went, no, the light's not on. Well, it was on. So I reached up and I turned it off. I turned the GoPro off. So my bad, my fault. So I completely missed the first moto. I'll tell you right now, I got 14th. Not great. I got a terrible start. Another last place start, wound up 14th. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. The next moto, Moto 2 of the 60 plus class, I hit the start gate. I jumped the start, something I've never done before. Hit the metal loop, flipped over the loop and crashed. And got up. And I think I hurt myself. I got up and took off in more than last place. They were already to the first turn before I even got off the ground, got up off and got the bike going. I wound up getting 18th in that moto. Again, the camera, it turned off because of the impact, I think. It just went off. No, I take that back. I asked another racer, is the red light on? And he said, no, the red light's not on, so I turned it off again. So I missed my first two 60 plus motos. Enough of that for right now. Okay, back to the race. These ruts are, if you're going to do this, you really need to practice your ruts, because as you can see, the ruts are pretty horrendous and they go for a long time. Again, I'm had trouble with that rut again. Same one. Okay, there's the flag I'm looking for. I was hoping for that white flag. I'm getting pretty tired at this point. I'm like, last lap, okay, make a charge, make something happen here. I'm looking at these guys and I'm thinking, I can get these two guys. I can do it. I can get these two guys. And I'm doing a little self-talk here of just thinking, okay, you've got the stamina because you did your homework and you were mountain biking. You are out there doing yoga. Yes, yoga, and stretching and strengthening, and more mountain biking, and a little bit of jogging, and just walking, and just hiking, and just doing some cardio a few days a week, and you worked at it, and so this is why you're going to catch these guys. I'm not catching them, they're pulling away, so I grab another handful. And I'm thinking, well, you can either let these guys go, because I don't think I had anybody behind me, or I can try to catch them and risk falling because I'm exhausted. So I'm starting to gas out. This has always been my problem. I just I get in that last lap and I just actually the mid-pack and I start getting out of breath. My breathing's okay, just my hands. I can't hang on anymore. Remember, I'm 62 years old. I'm old. Okay, I'm looking at him now and I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I'm thinking, is that 43 up there that fell? No, this is a different guy. Okay. I'm thinking, okay, I'm catching him. I'm gonna get this guy. And I kind of. I'm thinking, okay, he's tired. I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna get him right now. 1 down, 2 to go. Okay, I might get 2 more spots here. I'm starting to actually feel a little better right now. Okay, I got a half a lap. I'm feeling, okay, I can do this. Get through this section here without falling down. And it just, oh, my body just won't do it. My hand, I can't grip the gas anymore. I'm trying to grab a handful, but I can't hang on. Now I'm starting to breathe pretty hard, but I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. I got less than half a lap left. I can do this. I'm gonna get some right here. I'm gonna cut inside this time and cut diagonally across the hill. No, that didn't work. Oh man, they're pulling away from me still. I'm just thinking, oh come on, you can do this. I just pinned it, and I think I'm in 5th gear, and I'm looking for 7th, and there's no 7th. Shift downshifted, lost a bunch of speed here. Do this. Okay, now this is like do or die. I'm thinking, okay, you're either going to catch them right here and catch up to them, or it's not going to happen. And I was thinking, oh, they're pulling away, they're pulling away, they're pulling away. And right here I'm thinking, okay, I think I gained a little bit. Oh, I got somebody behind me now. Oh. And I kind of panicked a little bit. And he's right on my butt. I can feel him. Oh, now he's right behind me. I can see his shadow. So I'm starting to panic a little bit. Kind of getting tight. I think I can get these 2 more guys here and not let this guy behind me pass me. And I gotta get a little bit, and all of a sudden, I think the guy behind me hit my rear tire. I'm not sure. Oh no! Oh no! Oh duh! Well, 16th, I guess, not bad for falling down, I suppose, out of 40. Alright, so as I was saying, my first 2 motos of the 60 plus class, 14th with a terrible start. Wrecked on the starting line, wound up with 18th. This video's gone too long, so I'm going to have to put that one separate. In the next video, you're going to see my last chance for a top 10 finish. My last possible moto for a top 10 finish. Can I do it? Do I do it? Check out the next video.